Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to create our faux charity data in order to create our graphs. So here on the left of my screen, I have what your table is eventually going to look like. So the first thing you're going to want to do is change your file name to your first and last name, and then faux, which means fake in French, charity data. And now we're just going to recreate another table. So my titles are going to be, here we go, day of the month. Okay, the number of donations, the amount, and our total. All right. So here's a trick. If you want a number just in sequence, you can type in the first two numbers that you want. And then you want to highlight both of them and take this little blue square and then drag it all the way down, and it should follow your sequence of numbers. So this was June. July is going to have 31 days. So we're just going to add to 31. And you can do the same thing if you wanted to go by like twos or fives. So if I did 2, 4, the computer would figure out the pattern I was trying to do and then do that as well. So 5, 10. Again, we're using our computers to make our lives easier. So we're doing things smarter, not harder. So you see how that works. All right, so, and then now I'm going to split my screen and use our dice here. And remember, 2 dice, 1 die. And the first one is going to be the number of donations we get. And then the second one, since we have 6 numbers, but we have 3 donations. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you're going to have the amount of 5. And if you roll 3 or 4, it's going to be 15. If you roll a 5 or 6, it's 20. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to roll. And so I have 2 donations at $20. Oops. Sure I'm in the right place. Great. And then I'm gonna do a couple more just so we have our 25. And one more. All right. So now we have a couple of them that we can work with. So I know that in order to get my total, I need to multiply 2 times 20 to give me the total amount of money that I made that day. So typically I could do it in my head or do it on paper. 2 times 20 is 40. But I'm going to be doing 30 something of these and I want this to go kind of fast. So what I can do is I'm going to create a formula. So I'm going to say equals, and now I'm going to go this cell, the box is called a cell, times this cell times, that's asterisk, which is shift 8, times this cell, and I hit enter, and it gives me my total. So again, equal, click on this cell, times asterisk, this cell, and it'll give me my answer. Another cool thing is that you can also, since the computer started recognizing that you wanted the same pattern, so this times this times this times this, you can actually just drag the little blue dot and it'll automatically create that formula for you. So we're going to create that formula all the way down to here. And you're going to keep rolling your dice until you fill up all these numbers. For the sake of time, I'm just going to copy these and paste them so that we see I'm going to fill this up. And here we'll do 2 and 5. All right, so now I want to calculate my grand total. And in order to find out how much money I made, I need to add up this column right here, the total number of donations here. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to create an equation because it would take me a really long time to add 31 numbers. So I'm going to say equals, and then I'm going to say sum, which means add. Going to open the parentheses, so Shift 9, and then I'm going to drag my cursor so it highlights everything in this cell, the numbers. And then I'm going to close my parentheses, Shift 0, and hit enter. And it gives me my total number right here. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. So I'm going to hit equal, write the word sum, open parentheses, highlight all my cells that I want counted, and close the parentheses and enter. So now I have my total. And now I need to create my chart. So I am actually going to hide a couple columns because I don't need them. Right now I need to know the day of the month, and then I need to know how much money was made that day. So I'm going to highlight both of these. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit hide. And when I do that, it hides the columns and it gets rid of the data right now that I don't need. So now I'm going to create my chart by highlighting everything in these two columns except this grand total. I don't want this grand total. Okay, so everything's highlighted. I'm going to go to insert and then chart. And I have my chart. And mine looks like this because I just copied and pasted the same thing. So I'm going to have the same pattern. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to change your title. So we're going to say June donations, or it can be July donations or August donations. And everything gets added for you. You have your y-axis that has your total. You have your x-axis that says the day of the month. Okay, and there's only one more other thing that you need to change, and that's going to be your font and color of your line. We want your font to match your presentation. So you're going to go to your presentation and you're going to find out which fonts you were using. So in my presentation, I was using the font Roboto. So I'm going to go click here on the title and then change the font here to Roboto, which was the one I was using. Oops. Here we go. And I'm going to do that for all of my titles. So when I click them, they show up down here. If I click it, it shows up down here. Okay. And you're going to need to have your portfolio ready to go, which I didn't have. Let me get it up. And what we're going to be doing is I want this color of the line to match what's in my portfolio. So I need to go find out which colors I have, because at this moment, if I want to change the line color here, I don't have the theme that's being used here is not the same theme I was using in my presentation. So and you can do this on any slide in your presentation. So if you're wondering what font you are using, you would simply just click on the font on your title page. And then I can see right here it says Roboto, and that's how I'd know how you're going to pick your colors. So let's just pick a word. We're going to highlight it, and we're going to go change the color of the font. And here I have my theme. Now I want to use this purple color here. So I'm going to select it. And I understand that that changed the color of my word, and I can change that back later. But now I'm going to go back to the color and I'm going to hit custom. And what this does, and this allows you to make any color you possibly want, but I want this specific purple color. And so this number right here, this hex number, is this specific purple color, not a shade lighter, not a shade darker. So I want to copy this number, okay? And then I'm going to hit Control Z so I can get rid of the purple in my text. And I'm going to go back to my chart. And again, I'm going to go to Custom. And I'm going to paste that number up here. And it gives me that specific purple color. And then I have my data done. And now what I want to do is I want to add this. So I'm going to hit Copy Chart. go back to my data, and you're going to go to your page where you had yours. And then you're going to hit paste. Now I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to delete it in a second. So I want to link to my spreadsheet because if we made a mistake on our data, this allows us to fix it on Google Sheets, and then it'll also fix it on Google Slides. So always use link to spreadsheet. And then here you can adjust it the size that you need, right? I understand I have my other one underneath. And then you're going to title it monthly donations. And then what you're going to tell me is which days had the highest donations and which days had the lowest donations. So in my previous chart, I had in the month of June, the most donations collected happened on the 2nd and 21st. The least amount of donations collected happened on the 12th and the 24th. And then that should match your peaks and valleys in your line chart. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will help you. Thanks, guys.